ladies and gentlemen. Let us take a moment to reflect on a universal truth: life is not a straight path. It is marked by peaks of triumph and valleys of despair. A woman who rises after every fall is not someone who avoids misfortune, she is someone who embraces it as an inevitable part of the journey. Adversity will find us all, and it does not discriminate. But it is in those moments of despair, when the world seems cold and unyielding, that our true character is revealed. The woman who falls and chooses to rise again is a woman who understands that failure is not a judgment, it is an opportunity. This rising is not a simple act of willpower. It requires courage to face one's vulnerability. To admit, I stumbled, I fell, and I was hurt takes immense strength. Vulnerability, far from being a weakness, is a portal to resilience. For only by acknowledging our wounds can we begin to heal and move forward. But resilience does not descend upon us like a divine gift. It is forged in the crucible of hardship. It is the result of choosing again and again to take the next step, however small, however painful. Each time she stands, she grows not just stronger, but wiser, more compassionate, and more capable. What enables her to rise is not merely grit, it is a vision, a purpose that burns brighter than her despair. She rises because she knows her life is part of something greater. Her purpose, whether rooted in love, service, or the pursuit of excellence, becomes the compass that guides her through the storm. And this rising is not for her alone. When a woman dares to rise, she lights a spark in others. Her courage becomes a beacon for those still trapped in the darkness. She shows them that their falls, no matter how devastating, are not the end. They are merely the prelude to their own rising. So let us honor the woman who falls yet rises again. Not because she is invincible, but because she is human, gritty, vulnerable, determined, and endlessly inspiring. In her journey, we find a profound reminder: no matter how far we fall, we too can rise. Adversity is an inescapable part of life, woven into the fabric of human existence. It does not discriminate based on background, aspirations, or character. It comes unbidden, knocking us off our feet, leaving us to confront our vulnerabilities and limitations. Yet it is precisely in these moments of struggle and pain that the essence of a woman who rises after every fall becomes evident. She is not defined by the absence of challenges, but by her unwavering resolve to confront and overcome them. Every fall carries with it the sting of failure and the weight of disappointment. It is easy, almost tempting, to remain on the ground, to let the pain justify inaction. But a woman who rises understands that the fall is not her defining moment. It is her response to it that shapes her identity. She does not dismiss the difficulty or pretend it does not hurt. Instead, she acknowledges it fully. In this acknowledgement, she allows herself the space to process, to feel, and to learn. This self-awareness becomes the foundation for her growth. To rise after a fall requires more than sheer determination. It demands courage, the courage to face uncertainty, to risk further failure, and to push forward despite the odds. This courage is not an innate trait, but a choice made repeatedly each time adversity strikes. She makes this choice not because it is easy, but because it is necessary. She knows that remaining stagnant in her pain is far more destructive than the effort required to stand again. Her rising is not just an act of resilience, it is an act of defiance against the forces that seek to keep her down. It is a statement that she will not be defined by her setbacks, but by her ability to transcend them. Through every stumble and misstep, she gains not only strength, but clarity. She begins to see her journey as a tapestry, where even the frayed edges and imperfections contribute to its beauty. This woman understands that life's challenges are not obstacles meant to halt her progress, but stepping stones that elevate her to new heights. Each fall teaches her something invaluable about herself, about the world, and about the strength that lies within her. And with each rise, she proves that adversity, no matter how daunting, is not the end. It is the beginning of something greater. The strength to rise after a fall often comes from a place that many people overlook: vulnerability. Society frequently views vulnerability as a weakness, something to be hidden or suppressed. But for a woman who rises after every fall, vulnerability becomes a source of power and transformation. To admit failure, to confront one's pain, and to face the reality of falling is not an act of surrender, it is an act of courage. Vulnerability is not about succumbing to despair, but about embracing the truth of one's experience fully and authentically. When she allows herself to be vulnerable, she opens the door to self-awareness. In those moments of raw honesty, she learns the most profound lessons about herself, her fears, her limits, and her desires. This self-awareness becomes a tool for growth, enabling her to move forward with intention and clarity. She understands that falling is not an indictment of her worth or capabilities, but a natural part of life's journey. By accepting this, she can let go of shame and focus on the path ahead. This woman also recognizes that vulnerability fosters connection. By showing her true self, unfiltered and unapologetic, she invites others to do the same. In the aftermath of a fall, she may reach out for support or share her struggles openly, creating space for dialogue and understanding. This act of connection is not just for her benefit, it strengthens the bonds within her community. Others see her openness and are inspired to confront their own challenges with similar authenticity. Through her vulnerability, she cultivates resilience not as a hard, impenetrable armor, but as a flexible, adaptable strength. She learns to embrace uncertainty and to trust in her ability to navigate through it. She discovers that falling is not the end of the story, but a pivotal chapter that can lead to growth, wisdom, and greater depth. Each time she chooses to face her fears and rise, she reinforces the belief that she is capable of handling life's trials. In being vulnerable, she transforms her pain into power. She turns her setbacks into stepping stones, her struggles into stories of triumph. And through this, she not only rises but inspires others to rise with her, proving that vulnerability is not a weakness but the foundation of unshakable strength. Resilience is often seen as an innate quality, something a person is born with, but this perception misses the truth. Resilience is not a trait gifted to a select few, it is a skill that can be developed, honed, and strengthened over time. A woman who rises after every fall is living proof of this. She was not born impervious to hardship. Instead, she learned through experience that the act of rising is a choice, a deliberate, often difficult decision to move forward despite adversity. Every fall she encounters is an opportunity to practice resilience. It starts small. The first time she faces failure, she might hesitate, uncertain of her capacity to overcome. Yet, she tries. She gathers herself, takes a tentative step forward, and discovers that she can endure more than she thought. This success, however modest, builds her confidence. With each subsequent challenge, she becomes a little braver, a little stronger, and a little more adept at handling life's difficulties. The process of building resilience is not without struggle. It requires her to confront uncomfortable truths, to step into the unknown, and to persevere when the outcome is uncertain. She learns that resilience is not about ignoring pain or pretending everything is fine. Instead, it is about facing pain head-on and finding a way to move through it. It is about adaptability, shifting her mindset, adjusting her approach, and continuously seeking solutions, even when the odds seem stacked against her. Resilience also teaches her the importance of self-discipline. Rising after a fall demands consistency and effort, even when motivation wanes. She understands that progress is often slow and that setbacks are part of the journey. But she commits to the process, knowing that each effort she makes strengthens her capacity to rise again in the future. Through this skill of resilience, she transforms her failures into fuel. She no longer views her falls as permanent defeats, but as temporary challenges that offer valuable lessons. Each stumble sharpens her abilities and deepens her understanding of herself and the world around her. Her resilience becomes her greatest asset, a skill that not only empowers her to rise but equips her to thrive. In choosing to cultivate resilience, she becomes unstoppable, capable of facing whatever life throws her way. A woman who rises after every fall draws her strength from a vision larger than herself, a purpose that anchors her during the storms of life. Purpose is not a vague or distant concept for her, it is the force that drives her actions and gives meaning to her struggles. It serves as her compass, guiding her through moments of uncertainty and providing a reason to stand up each time she falls. This vision is not always grand or immediately clear, but it is deeply personal, resonating with her values and aspirations. When life knocks her down, her purpose becomes her lifeline. It reminds her that her journey, no matter how difficult, has significance. Whether her vision is to nurture her family, excel in her career, serve her community, or pursue a passion, it gives her the motivation to persevere. It tells her that her efforts, even when they seem small or futile, contribute to something greater. In this sense, purpose transforms her falls into stepping stones, each one bringing her closer to her goals. Her purpose also brings clarity amid chaos. When setbacks threaten to overwhelm her, she turns to her vision as a source of focus. It helps her differentiate between what truly matters and what is fleeting or inconsequential. This clarity allows her to prioritize her energy, channeling it toward meaningful actions rather than being consumed by frustration or despair. Her purpose does not erase her pain but gives her the strength to endure it, knowing it serves a greater good. This sense of purpose is not static, it evolves as she grows. With each challenge she faces, she gains new insights that refine her vision. Sometimes her purpose expands to include others, inspiring her to rise not only for herself but for those who look up to her. She recognizes that her perseverance sends a powerful message to those around her that setbacks are not the end of the story, and that resilience is possible for anyone who chooses to hold on to their purpose. Her purpose becomes her light in the darkness, a source of strength that does not waver, no matter how many times she falls. It is what fuels her determination to keep going, what gives her life meaning even in the face of adversity. Through her unwavering commitment to her vision, she shows that purpose is not only a guide but a source of infinite power. When a woman rises after every fall, her actions ripple outward in ways she might not immediately realize. Her resilience is not only transformative for herself, but also for those who witness her journey. Every time she picks herself up, she becomes an example of courage, determination, and the power of perseverance. Her rising creates a chain reaction, inspiring others to confront their own struggles and believe in their ability to overcome them. Her strength challenges the narrative that setbacks are insurmountable. By refusing to stay down, she proves that adversity is not the final chapter. This is not just a private victory, it is a public statement. Her actions speak louder than words, showing others that failure is not a dead end, but a stepping stone to growth. People see her persistence and are reminded that they too have the capacity to rise, even when the odds seem impossible. Her courage fosters hope. In a world often marked by uncertainty and hardship, seeing someone rise repeatedly can ignite a spark in those who have lost their way. It's not that she makes the journey look easy, far from it. The effort, the pain, and the struggle are all evident. But this honesty is what makes her story relatable. She shows that rising is messy and imperfect, yet entirely possible. Her authenticity becomes a source of comfort, allowing others to see their own challenges reflected in her experience. Beyond inspiration, her rising creates practical change. When she stands up, she often becomes an advocate, a mentor, or a guide for others. Whether she realizes it or not, her actions ripple through her community. She might offer advice, extend a helping hand, or simply provide a listening ear. In doing so, she creates a support system that empowers others to take their first steps toward recovery and growth. Her resilience becomes a shared resource, a wellspring of strength for those around her. This ripple effect extends across generations. Her rising plants seeds of resilience in those who watch her. Whether they are her peers, colleagues, or children, she becomes a role model, demonstrating that strength is not about avoiding falls, but about finding the will to rise every time. Her influence transcends her own life, shaping the perspectives and actions of others and leaving a legacy of perseverance that inspires countless others to rise as well. In the journey of life, the inevitability of falling is a truth we all face. But it is the courage to rise, the strength to stand after every fall, that defines the woman who refuses to be defeated. She shows us that adversity is not the end, but the beginning of transformation. Through vulnerability, she discovers her strength. By cultivating resilience, she builds a foundation to weather any storm. With a vision rooted in purpose, she finds direction in chaos. And in her rising, she creates a ripple effect, inspiring others to rise with her. Her story is a testament to the power of the human spirit to face the darkest moments, to embrace the lessons hidden within challenges, and to rise stronger each time. She reminds us all that we are not defined by the times we fall, but by the unwavering resolve to rise again and again. Her journey is not just hers alone, it is a light for all who seek hope, strength, and the courage to begin anew. Let her story be a reminder that no matter how many times life knocks us down, the choice to rise is always ours.